Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Icons. And today, the iconic woman I'm bringing to you is one who is big on mentorship, big on women in business. Now, the most interesting thing is it does not matter where you began. Her first salary was 5,000 bob, but she went all the way to be the first female elected to sit on the board of the KNCCI. Now, this is going to be interesting. Let's go talk to Mary Muthoni.
In business, 16.5 million Kenyans are SMEs. Out of the 16.5 million SMEs, about 85% are women. They're the women who are suffering from fistula. They're the women who are suffering from stillbirths. They're the women in the market suffering from lack of health. I want to present you these women today, that they are going to promise you that they will mentor, they will assist, they will help with gift hampers so that other women can be lifted to the level that we are. We celebrate you, Ma'am. We honor you. The initiative you have started in this country is enormous. It's impressive.
Thank you so much for creating time for us. We've been looking for you.
Anytime.
At any time.
Not so much.
Yeah? It wasn't a lot.
It was the COVID.
It's not like it's not still going on, but thank you so much for creating time for us.
Thank you. Thank you.
I really
Yes.
appreciate that. And it's such a beautiful place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It
You know,
is.
nature is revives and entertains us.
Oh.
When we have no people to entertain us.
Would you call yourself a nature-loving human?
Well, I love nature.
Was it
or
from-
natural things?
Was
So,
natural. There goes
Yes.
my hair. You're not just in my hair, are you? But anyway, let's go
Don't
back
worry,
to.
your hair is very long.
It is.
It's nice.
I don't like
Yes.
how much, but it's fine. Let's go back to Mary. Where did you
Yes.
grow up? Was the environment like this, beautiful, green and all?
I grew up in a small village called Ngiriambu.
Ngiriambu.
Ngiriambu. I don't even know you would know how to pronounce it.
I've
But
never heard
really,
of it.
It's as beautiful as this because we had ngati.
Ngati,
you know,
what is
yeah.
ngati?
Can you see these
Unajua
fruits?
ngati kwa Kikamba is
Yes,
something
these
different.
fruits are called ngati.
Oh, this one, yes.
Yes, and we had their
Look what-
trees, you know, their trees, their bananas, coffee, tea, bushes. So there are all those things that are in Kirinyaga.
Okay.
And you know, Kirinyaga is a beautiful, beautiful county.
Yeah.
That's where I grew up from when I was a young girl.
Went to school there?
Went to school there.
Was it in Ngiriambu Primary School?
Definitely.
I was joking.
By the way, that's
Okay.
where I went to school. And I'm still proud because
Okay.
that's where I got the woman who I am today.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Before I proceeded to my high school. That's Kabare Girls.
Kabare.
Yes.
Was it in the same area code as well?
Same county, but
Okay.
not same area.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I would
Hey.
have gone to Ngiriambu.
Okay.
Ngiriambu Girls, but I think everybody wanted to go a little far away from home. And that's what happened.
It's true, everybody wanted to go a
I took
bit
a few
farther.
kilometers away from home.
Okay.
And that was the happiness.
But how was it growing up? What kind of a child were you? Were you playful? Were you a leader at that age? Prefect, my badges, best in English, best in Kiswahili, best. You know those little badges that you'd get for performing very well in
I was a
school?
very intelligent kid,
Okay.
all the way. And I think it was an interesting moment because I also passed my KCP very well.
Okay.
I didn't have issues in school. I think I have all along yearned to be very outstanding.
Yeah.
And I always follow the route not taken. It's called the road not taken.
Yeah.
I remember those days were the days when you would be given a motto if you don't speak
yes,
in
in
English.
English. Was it like a
or
wood? Was it a
Swahili.
plaque of wood or maybe a huge bone?
Wow.
What was it? Was
Just
it
something
that
you
you'd
right
wear?
here, yeah, you'd wear.
Okay.
Something to signify that maybe you've been a bad kid. But I never got into those problems
You
because
didn't.
one of the things that I really wanted to do was to speak in English and speaking good English. But I also had a very good teacher of English.
Do you remember
Where
their name?
from? Yes, she was called Miss Jero. She used to
okay.
train me in poetry. I would go up to the national level, you know. So I grew up feeling that this is the right thing. And maybe that is why even in my undergraduate I did literature.
Yes.
Because all the way it was something that I really yearned to and felt would be a great thing. So an outstanding kid.
Yeah.
Playful, of course, just
Yeah.
like any other child.
Yeah.
I was feeling that it is important to be, you know, to interact. So to speak, I'm a very social being.
Yes, you
From
are.
when I was a very young kid.
What about the siblings? Did you have brothers, sisters?
Yes, we have a whole a whole football team.
One question that I'm mangapi basi.
I mean, I'm among the last borns, and
Okay.
you know, I'm still proud of my mother. I think she's a very strong woman.
Yeah.
But I must say, my older siblings, who are much older, some of them kept saying that we were born at a very good time. Because maybe my mother then was not very strong. And
Alikuwa na wachapa zaidi kuliko nyinyi.
we didn't seem to have been disciplined. But according to me, it was terror.
But it molded the person that you are now.
Oh, really? I'm just trying to figure out how are they beaten.
Yeah.
If
you
for
were-
instance,
if you felt like unachapa
if I felt
sana.
like that,
Yeah.
and I felt that I was really beaten. You know, I have two young brothers. They are twins. I know they would be sent to catch up with me because my mother could not run like I would, you know. So my brothers would be sent to catch up with me and run after me in the banana plantations.
Yeah.
When I roam, you know.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, you know, you're boyish because of growing up with the boys.
With the boys as well.
You know, you become so boyish. You
And
climb
competitive.
trees and competitive.
Yes.
So you climb such a tree and then you fall. You'll be beaten.
We'll be beaten for playing too hard, not playing enough.
Yes.
You know, that it will be a lot of things put together.
A lot of things put together, but
yeah.
really to speak, I think I am who I am today because of some of those things that happened at that particular time.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of that childhood.
Okay.
It hardened me. It made me to feel that, and to know that there is nothing that comes out of nowhere.
That's
you
true.
have to work for it. You have to really stretch out and reach out to get what you want in life.
At that point, did you want to be a teacher?
No, thank you.
What
I didn't
happened?
want to be a teacher.
How did you end up there?
But I ended up being a very good teacher.
Okay.
So to speak.
What did you want
And
to be?
I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed teaching. To be very sincere, for the years that I taught, I enjoyed teaching, and the education system. You know, I truly feel that my grounding was there.
Yeah.
From having very tough bosses and molding me into from a very tender age of 22 years old to growing up to around 30 years, you know.
In that industry.
In that industry. So I didn't want to be a teacher.
What did you
I had not
want?
Figured out to be a teacher.
But what was there?
What I knew is I wanted to read hard and grow to become a doctor. Not really a doctor but a doctor. You know?
A literary doctor.
Yes, a literary doctor or a professor. So I kept saying I want to be a professor. I still haven't achieved that.
I
So
think you're
still
close.
have
You're close.
something
You're close.
to
Your
achieve.
dreams are valid. Your dreams are valid.
Yeah,
So,
but I was also very keen in being a PR person.
Okay.
I loved public relations. I loved presentations.
Yeah.
I loved, you know, being on maybe a TV presenter or something like
you
that.
thought about it because
I
I think you
thought
had a
about
show
that.
at some point.
Yes, I did.
Was that when you
had
were
a show.
still a teacher, or you'd already stopped being a teacher when you started the show? What's it called? The Lovelace.
The Love Nurse.
The Love Nurse.
Yes.
The Love Nurse.
Yes, the
You
Love
are
Nurse.
the Love Nurse. I beg.
I don't even know whether I'm the one who was the love nurse or I wanted to create love nurses. But
What was
think,
it about?
I've had enterprising skills from a very tender age. From when I was even in primary school, I think I had some enterprising skills from college life. And then when I started teaching, because I had too much energy, you know, it could not be exhausted in the classroom. So I had to look for something else to really cater for that extra energy. And that is how I started the Love Nurse. It was in a company, but it was basically, it was supposed to be a company. But I started basically just like a show, you know. And
So what would happen?
then
Yeah.
I was teaching in Embu,
Okay.
Moi High School, Birori. So I would finish my work on Friday, take a mat, come to Nairobi, book a room in Ngara, and call people so that we can talk about
Love.
the Love Nurse.
What is
Yes.
the Love Nurse? I need to understand.
The Love Nurse was basically about relationships between young men and women.
Okay.
I think that time I was still a very young wife. So I felt that I needed to speak to more younger women and more younger men who are willing to get into marriage, because I believe in families.
Yes.
So I really wanted to fill it in to these young people
Yeah.
that it's not a bad place after all.
Yeah.
You know, you can make it, you can get in there, you know, and succeed. Don't just look at marriage as something that is typical or which
You're
can
working
break
towards
like a glass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ikikosekana, you can move.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's how I started the Love Nurse.
Okay.
And then I could also see girls of my age. They were really haphazard, you know. And I'm not saying I was an angel.
I was like, Tori, are you listening?
But I'm saying
Yeah.
that there are extremes.
Okay.
And there are those points that you must know when to stop. So I could feel I'm losing out on friends every other day because maybe they don't have somebody to talk to them.
Ah, okay.
You see? Maybe they didn't have somebody to tell them anything, you know? But because I had all along worked with older women, older than me, I think I rolled out my system very early.
Okay.
So I got matured up quite early, earlier than my
Your age
mates.
mates.
And I felt there's something I know that you do not know.
And it's my job to let you know.
And it's my job to let you know.
Yeah.
So would go to Ngara, you know, somewhere there was fig tree around there.
Yes.
Get a room, pay 500, and I would be the presenter. The organizer, the presenter, everything. So all my relatives in Nairobi and their friends, they would come. I would get between about 20 to 50 people,
Yeah.
you know.
And would you charge them?
Of course,
How much?
500.
Kuingia kukaa.
Yes.
Love
500,
nurse.
yes, no food, nothing. That is entry fee. and after that, I would buy them, of course, food after that, after we make money.
So quite enterprising. I like that. I like that. How long did that
So
go
you
on
can,
for?
I think close to 6 months.
Uh-huh.
Until I I got really overwhelmed at the workplace, and it was not possible for me to travel every now and then. And then sometimes you're on duty, you cannot leave the duty.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be at work, even on Saturday and Sunday. So that breaking, you know, sometimes you have functions at your workplace, so you have to stop. You have to tell people, hey, this weekend hakuna Lovelace.
So there's something about consistency as
Yes,
well.
Consistency and also guidance. Because if I had somebody to tell me how to go about it,
Yeah.
I think I would have been the first. I would have been the first person to come up with a
Show like
talk
that.
show, a talk show in Kenya.
When was that? 2002?
2002.
2002?
Yes, 2002, 2003.
Wow.
Yes.
And guys would show up.
Yes, and guys would show up. It was a good idea, that's what I think.
Yes, it was.
For business.
Yeah.
I never used to lack money. Not like now. I was a rich young girl.
And that
You
is
know?
interesting. But then your leadership skills start at that
Yes.
point. So 2011, you taught, you were transferred to Nairobi
Yes,
as well.
Yes, I got a transfer to Nairobi. And here in Nairobi, I set up an office. Now I set up an office. I was already in my family life.
Yes.
And, so I would say we set up an office. And I would juggle between doing CVs for people and also working.
You were doing CVs for people?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
you,
I remember.
You couldn't just be like,
No.
it
No
had to
way.
be, there's something else. I need extra
There was
money somewhere
something,
else.
Not even extra money.
Yeah.
I think it
Oh.
was not even about money really, but it was this feeling of I have this skill, I need to utilize
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I'm not that type of a person who will see somebody and I say, you've not paid me, I'll not do it.
Yeah.
Yeah? And women are like that. And
Say it
that's
louder.
Why, yes, and that's why you hear even across the world,
Yeah.
most women are in low-paid jobs because they are more empathetic and they are more easy to move to an idea without even looking at the monetary.
Yeah.
part. They are able to do CSR more, and they are able to feel comfortable in social circles.
Very interesting.
Yeah?
Your passion for people and for helping people started a long way back. And maybe you didn't notice, but you felt the need to help other couples, married people, people who want to get into marriage. You felt the need to.
Yes.
As Lovelace. And it
Lovelace.
transitioned into other things.
Transitioned into other things.
Many other things, because at the point you are right now, you're helping women, and not just women, but women in business. And we're going to get to that. But 2011 ukatoka.
Call it 2012.
2012. So 2012 you stopped teaching.
Yes.
Where were you going after that? After 2012, so you're done with school and you've decided I've done enough. Where were you headed?
First and foremost,
Yeah.
I've told you I had already set up a small office.
Yeah.
And I was feeling I needed to give it more time. And I also kept feeling that I needed a bigger challenge than what I have already done. Because I had already taught young girls like you.
Yeah.
And they had come back to teach with me.
Yeah.
So I was feeling really there's nothing much that I could have done, which I had not done then.
Yeah.
And I needed a bigger scope into and a challenge.
Yeah.
Maybe in management, yeah, at the same time. And that's when I started the St. Petroc Premier School.
Okay.
Because I needed to have a feel into the management of schools, the policies in schools, you know, and I kept feeling there's something lacking in the kids that we are
Bringing up.
Every day we used to have issues. I taught literature, as I've told you, and every day I have a parent saying, you know, this child of mine, she used to score 100% in English.
What's happening now?
What's happening now?
Yeah.
Not knowing that the basics of that child is not to the standards. You know, she may have passed 100% then, but this is a different time. Or you'd also see children who you expect to have very good character, they've totally changed, you know? And the parents are wondering, what is happening to my child?
Yeah.
And this really disturbed me for quite a while. And it pushed me to thinking that I have a bigger challenge than just classroom work. And being in here, it may not help because I don't know where these children come from every other day.
Yeah.
They come from all types of schools. And I said, I'm going to set up a model school. A model school that is going to cater for the character of the children.
Okay.
Character, the attitude of the children for excellence.
Wow.
Because it's only with children who have character, children who have a good attitude, who excel.
That's true.
Excelling is not just about exams.
No.
Excelling,
It's all round.
Let me tell you,
Okay.
one of the things that I say today is my grounding when I was young, back in Giriambu, is who I am today.
It's true.
You know, what my mother told me then is what I remember more today. What I saw then is what I remember more today. When I figure out of doing things which are haphazard, that is what I remember. The things that you were told then when you were young. And young, I mean between the age of 0.1 day years to about 10 years
Yeah.
or 15
Yeah.
at most.
Yeah.
That's what you remember. So that's what we are today.
Because
There
of
are
that
things-
particular period.
Yes, there are things, it's like you're indoctrined. There are things you'd say, no. My Christian background
Does not allow.
it molded me a lot. Going to Sunday school every time, going to church, the youth, you know, the things that we used to do when we were young. So I felt these children are lacking that in one way or another. I don't blame anybody. I don't blame the parents, by the way, because you got to go and look for money to take this child to school.
School.
You got to go and look for something so that these children are comfortable. But look, at the end of the day, there's something that the child may be lacking. That's what St. Petroc
Office.
offers.
That's interesting. So that is when it was born. I think we
Yes.
head up to your office.
Yes.
Okay. So Tiamiri. Yamiri. 1, 2, 3, 4. And went all the way to be the first woman elected to sit at the end